Borderlands Market, day 8, morning. Dear Mum and Dad, yesterday I did work in the market for Mr. Twister. He sells ziggies, cannot spell it. My job was putting on false beards, masks, sheep's clothing, etc. and walking up and down saying, "Hey, guess what I am?" It was quite good fun dressing up and loads of people stopped to buy things. A small mouse came up to me and he said, "I am lonely. Can you sell something to help me make friends?" I said, "Yes, I can. Here are some tie-on wings. Wear these and stand on your head. Then loads of bats will come and play with you." And guess what? He bought 2 pairs, and my best thing was finding something for a stoat to wear to a fancy dress ball. I sold him half a coconut and told him to shave all his fur off. Then he could go as a tortoise. He was so pleased he said I could keep the change. I like being a market worker. Yours richly, Little. Day 8, afternoon. Dear Mum and Dad, Mr. Twister said I was a good worker and would I stay? I wanted to, but I told him I had to go to Cunning College and study for my bad badge. "You amaze me," he said, and his sharp eyes went wide, and his red fur went even more bristly. "Did you mean to tell me that you are going to Cunning College in Threatening Forest?" I said, "Yes. Do you know it?" He said, "My boy, I was a teacher in that school many a full moon ago. Your uncle and I used to be partners. Can you really be the nephew of that nasty, mean, bad, horrid crook?" I said a proud yes. The fox told me more. He and Uncle Big Bad met ages ago in Broken Tooth Caves when they were both hiding from the police. Uncle had the idea to stay out of sight in Threatening Forest and start a school for bad beasts. He promised Mr. Twister that if he worked hard, teaching the naughty pupils everything he knew, he would soon be rich. Mr. Twister said, "My boy, it was dreadful. The pupils never gave me a moment's peace. They were most awfully sly and squirmy, all those skunks and stoats and rattlesnakes and cubs. How they got on my nerves, those spoilt little brutes. And what a fuss their horrid parents made, always wanting to know where their ghastly offspring would be getting their bad badges. They quite wore me out. But when I asked your uncle for some money, just enough to allow me to take a short holiday, he threatened to eat me." I said, "What did he say?" Mr. Twister said he told me to get out, and he said that if I ever put a paw in his school again, he would boil my bones and serve me up as soup. I said, "Ooh." The fox said, "So you see, your uncle is a miser and a cheat. He has bags of money hidden away, but he will not part with a penny of it. You would be unwise, my boy, to leave Borderlands Market. What is more, Threatening Forest is a shocking place. Dismal, dark and lonely. Your Uncle Big Bad is dangerous. He has a terrible temper. In short, he's Mr. Mean. My strong advice to you, my boy, is stay away from Cunning College." I said, "Yikes, you have got a point." Yours having a good think, L.W. Still day 8. Dear Dumb and Mad, I am a bit confused and bothered. Mr. Twister wants me to stay with him forever and be his dresser-upper. Sometimes I think, oh yes, nice idea, because one day I could have a stall of my own. Next thing I think, yes, but what about learning the 9 rules of badness? If I do not, how will I get a bad badge and keep up the good name of Wolf? But Mr. Twister has got me worried about Uncle. I mean, about boiling him up as a soup. If he's going to make soup out of his large friend, what will he make out of a small nephew he's never met? Will I be his special pupil or just a sausage in a sandwich? Yours nervously, Little. The Parching Plain, day 9. Dear Mum and Dad, I have decided I am going on. I think I like adventures now. A bit, anyway. Tell Smells and Yeller for me. It will be a good shock for them. I slipped away from Borderlands Market very early before Mr. Twister came and talked softly to me. I did not trust his voice. I've still got the bonnet he gave me for dressing up as an old lady. It might come in handy. Borderlands Market and the mountains are far behind me now. Today was my longest walk ever. One good thing, the land was flat, but no shade for miles and miles. On the map it is called the Parching Plain, and now I know why. The track was dusty and the sun was hot. I was longing for a stream to splash my tongue in, but no luck. I wished I bought a snowball from the mountains to lick. In the afternoon some big birds came, big as planes. They glided round and round. The slower I walked, the lower the birds flew. About 4 o'clock one came close enough to show his hooked beak and claws. Then I remembered Yella's present, my kite with the yellow wolf eyes painted on. I had to stop to get it out of my rucksack and fix it together. Now the birds came so low I could see their shadows flick on the stones near me. I howled to make them stay, and then I was ready. I took the string and the kite flew up. I flipped and flapped it right in their ugly faces. You should have seen them scatter. It was like tadpoles in a pond when you plop in a pebble. Don't forget to tell Yella I kept his kite flying right across the parching plain, and not one bird bothered me again. I am posting this just on the edge of threatening forest. I've not gone in yet, but tomorrow I will have to. Worse luck. It looks darker in there than Borderlands Tunnel. Good thing I can whistle, eh? Yours chin-uply, little W. Near Cunning College, threatening forest, middle of night, after day 10. Dear Mum and Dad, I have arrived. It took me all day, what with the path so overgrown, but I've found Uncle's school at last. The fox was right. This is the shockingest, dismalest, darkest part of the forest. Much too late to ring the bell. If I wake up Uncle now, he's sure to eat me. I've tried putting up my tent, but no good. So I've made a small lair in a bush in the college garden. Okay, but a bit prickly. Oh no, now it's drizzling here. Sorry about the smudges. I wish I was curled up under my nice dry rock at home. Talk about spooky. So overgrown, with eyes and croaks and squeaks everywhere. Good thing I've got my torch. I'm holding it in my mouth to see what I am writing. Also, I can point it and light up a sign by the door of the schoolhouse from here. It says, Cunning College, badges awarded for wicked ways, dirty deeds and bad habits. Gosh, sorry about that. Something went woo, made me jump. This is so scary. It stands your fur up. Not sure when I will find postbox, but I just want to say something. Okay, I did teach my little bruv I love little pussy, and Christopher Robin is saying his prayers with actions. I admit that. But that was just tricks, honest. You know I'm not really nice and polite. I do not usually brush my teeth and fur either. You ask Yella. I just hope Uncle isn't too cruel. I do not want to get boiled. This could be my last letter, ever, and it will be all your fault. Yours damply, Master L. Wolf. P.S. Smelly Breath can have my Ted, but I promised Yella my box of tricks.